You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports, and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
Ding dong. Hello?
Everybody three count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I didn't get here because I was cute, or because I came from some famous wrestling family, or because I sucked up to the right people. I got here because I am good. I earned this championship.
Frustrated into the goddamn word for it. This is bullshit.
Brett made a very, very selfish decision. Brett's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. Brett screwed Brett. I have no sympathy whatsoever for Brett.
This is my show, and I'm sick of all of you calling me the coward. You're the cowards. I'm the one here day in and day out in that wrestling ring beating people up. Thank you very much.
I don't steal opportunities. I am the opportunity.
3 ain't enough now. I need 5. Welcome in, Jim.
I'm an idiot.
Ryan.
I'm a sausage guy.
Matt.
Who gives a shit?
Tim.
Right on the cock.
And intern Mark.
Hi, boys.
I'm going to tell y'all with a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 3 Count Thursday. We are live August the 26th, 2021. We got a great show for you tonight, and we are glad you are joining us. Scotty, Devin, intern Mark actually checking in. He's not here. He's in the damn comments. We're trying to figure out where the hell he's been. If anybody has seen an intern with whoopie pie cream on his face, can you send him our way, please? We have no clue where this man is. But we have a great show lined up. We are still the podcast of the millennium. Make sure you go to 3countthursday.com. That's our homepage. You'll find all of our social media links, our YouTube channel, and much, much more there. You can get our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver.
Thank you, Tim. Our Patreon page, patreon.com/3countthursday. Our collar and elbow brand deal. Oh, wrong side of the hat. Store.collarandelbowbrand.com. Use promo code 3count for 10% off each and every order. Our home network, of course, is NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. Our secondary home is the Lieb Sports and Music Network. Ryan, where can people find that?
You'd meander down to leeibsports.com, and you can hear us there.
That is the one. Wait, hold on. I think we got coming in hot. Intern.
Where is the intern?
Where is the intern? We can't hear the freaking intern.
I can't hear you. I can see you.
Hey, we can hear you. Where are you?
Flamin' Dick and the Hot Rods is on stage.
Flamin' Dick and the Hot Rods.
Yo,
yes,
are the Hot Rods? Are the Hot Rods the line of wheelchairs right there?
Yeah.
Don't touch the dick. Don't touch the dick.
Don't touch the dick. There it is. Well, Mark, since we can't hear you,
this is a disaster.
We'll let you get back to your dick. Okay, bye-bye. We'll see you next week, Mark.
They've got some cream for that.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Oh my.
But we had a drop in from an intern. Scotty says we're still better than Bruce Pritchard.
Well, that's a lie.
I mean, Charlie put him here. Charlie said him.
Have
Charlie
you ever even heard the Pritchard show?
I mean, at least we're here every week, though.
That's fair.
Charlie says nobody's better than Bruce and Connie. I don't know, man.
That's not true either.
Jeff Jarrett and Connie might be giving old Brucey a run for his money.
100%.
Dude, Jeff Jarrett. What's the granular? Like,
we're getting in the weeds.
So, Tim, because you're a wizard with the graphics and things, I want to make you famous. You know, like the is it like a farming Granger? I want you to make a granular logo and send it to Connie.
Ooh.
Can have that one for free.
There it is.
Mike says he's been at the ocean waiting for the sea stars.
Inside baseball, really quick. I'm hearing myself.
You are?
I'm getting an echo.
I don't hear any echoes.
Okay. I don't
hear any echoes.
Just on you?
It might be.
You?
Ryan, do you hear any echoes?
No, I don't hear shit.
Jim wearing a shirt has the worst entrance music ever. Yeah. I agree.
You know what, Scotty? Nobody asked you to watch this show tonight.
Damn, Ryan's shooting this week. I think that's where I have to cut it off before we get.
Yeah.
We got a Sony copyright strike from a podcast in 2017 this week.
I saw that.
We did.
It's 10 seconds of it is muted. If you can go figure out which 10 seconds they're talking about.
Tony's watching.
Feel free. Mike says no echoes. Maybe it's just on you, Tim.
Hi, Mike.
It was probably me. I'm not.
But yeah, if you're following along with this live video, we'd appreciate that. As always, give us a like and a share. Now we want to throw some congratulations out there because we do.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
We do our PW scorecards. We have the faction. We had some participation. Well, we'll get to the. Oh, Tim's gone. We'll get to the SummerSlam one in a little bit when we get to our wrestler of the week. Why
would we get to it then?
I will say this. Because the last few weeks in wrestling haven't been weird enough. I won both the SummerSlam card and the NXT TakeOver 36 card in the fivesome that is 3 Count Thursday.
Really?
I topped the group.
Now, let's be fair.
I didn't win overall.
Of the 5 of us, Jim, you were probably the only one that watched any wrestling building up to those cards.
Look, I didn't ask for semantics and details, Ryan. All I looked for is stats. I won.
I went into the NXT card as blind as I'm going into the NWA cards this weekend.
Oh, shit. There's NWA cards?
Boom.
Guess I need to... Oh, wait.
Also,
is this Power Weekend?
Bought these the other day.
Mike and Ike root beer float?
Dude, so good.
Okay.
I will see you your Mike and Ike root beer floats, and I will raise you Reese peanut butter flavored cupcakes.
Don't like them. It's too much going on.
Oh, you're too much going on.
You're too much going on.
I know I am.
Now, Ryan, this is pretty groundbreaking that you tried something that is new and different.
Dude, I'm on a roll. I was down at the beach last weekend, and I'm trying food from restaurants. I'm trying something other than a burger with crab dip on it.
Hey,
I'm all over the place.
Something different. You drank some alcohol while you were there?
Oh, I should be drinking that now.
It was what, a cherry whiskey, and you put it in the Coke?
It was a cherry whiskey.
Maybe
when we go to break, I'll run down and try to find where I put it.
There you go.
It goes great with the Coca-Cola.
Charlie says he still can't see the final score. If you go into the faction and you click on the event, it brings up all the final scores. I don't know why you're having issues. But in terms of NXT TakeOver,
that was helpful, Jim.
Mike won overall.
Congratulations
with 73.
Good for him.
like I said, I came
Attaboy,
first
Mike.
out of the group.
He better
Rank
hope
us.
he
Go ahead. Rank
he
us.
better hope that. Can you just delete that comment from Devin? Because
I want to see it.
Nope, I don't want to see it. Mike, I'm not reading. Oh man, camera did a thing.
Man,
I can't see anything.
Figure out that camera, Tim.
It's weird. Oh man, it's back now. Everything's good.
I mean, I wish the guy that we coined Big Dick didn't use the word butt hurt, but that's cool.
You know.
All right, Charlie. Let me see if I can pull these up here real quick.
Yeah, I want to know how we did as a group, the 5 of us, because we're all very competitive.
All right, let me find.
I think even with a poor showing, I think I did okay.
All right, let me. But let's see here. Lee says he completely shit the bed on this score. Don't worry, Lee. We have, or at least I have been there for sure.
So SummerSlam.
Yeah, you pull up SummerSlam. I'll look at it.
I have both.
Okay, go ahead.
I have both.
You're so effective.
So for the SummerSlam, Big Jim says that he beat me, and he did. He beat me, but you came in last at 83 points.
Who?
You.
All right, let's stop this game. Let's move on.
83. Well, Matt and Intern Mark did not participate.
So they lost. They lost.
So you had 83. I had 89. Big Jim had 91. Big Dick Devin cheated. Next, for the NXT takeover, you had Ryan. You had 47. I had 50. Big Jim had 67, and Big Dick Devin cheated at 61. And then, of course, Big Mike.
So okay, so Devin got to make your picks this week, which we'll get to for the wrestler. Does Mike get to make your picks next week?
You know what? I'm gonna.
How does that work?
Do you want to go solo screen on me really quick? Because I'll have a heart to heart.
Solo darling screen. Here we go.
Let me see. Let me figure out how to do this. I've never had to do this on the fly, so I can go.
Bye, everybody.
Full screen. Nope.
There's Jim.
No, I removed him. Now I added a. Oh God, what's happening?
Oh no, the 3 of us. I
What
like
is
that. That's fun.
I don't know what's happening.
Put that back. Where'd Tim go?
Tim,
where are you, Tim? Lean into it.
I don't know how to make you the biggest screen on the big picture on the screen. Oh,
that doesn't help.
Here, let's do that.
There we go. That works.
That works. That works better.
So, Big Mike, if you want to take my picks, I'll give you 2 options. Since Big Dick Devin wanted to play dirty, he gets what he gets, and he doesn't throw a fit. But you're a man of honor, you're a man of class, and you've extended the olive branch to me for take 3, where I will come and I will whoop all y'all's candy asses in takeover trivia. But I will give you an option, good sir. You can either take my picks this week for week 20, because Big Dick Devin already made my picks. And by the way, the picks he made would have been exactly the same picks I would have made.
I was going to ask you that when we get there.
Exactly the same picks.
Okay.
You can either take the next week's picks, or you can usurp me at any time. Whenever you want to make my picks, up until week 52, you can swoop in like a thief in the night and take my picks. So if you want to keep from me the joy of making Roman Reigns the number 1 spot on a week where he should be, and you want me to have to put Walter at number 1, I'll hate you for it. But you've earned it. You beat me in TakeOver. You beat me in TakeOver 36 pick. So
the dam is about to burst.
It wasn't a good Sunday in this house, boys.
Charlie, you had 57 points for TakeOver and 88 for SummerSlam.
Those are respectable numbers.
Yeah, he did 7 better than me.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back. There we go. Whoa. Hold on. There we go. Oh, we're still okay. Oh, no, you can't read my board. There we go.
There you go.
No, we can't read Tim's Not the Tool Man.
It's
There
okay. my shit.
Yeah, Ryan gets to play with Roman's nipples. Okay, since we're already
There it is. We have an answer from Big Mike. I will hold the money in the bank briefcase to cash in at a later date.
Love it.
I was going to say, if you just wanted to send me a baby onesie for my youngest, I would have taken that, but I'll hold the briefcase.
Oh, I love it.
The briefcase is
man,
smart.
I love that so
You're
much.
gonna get a cash
You know
in.
what?
I hope this comes back to bite you in the ass real bad.
I hope
and
so
Mike
too.
gives you like Eva Marie,
Good.
Dewdrop, and
Yep.
Eva Marie again.
Sweet.
Because there's no rules that it has to be different people, correct?
Devin,
Yes. I mean, it's 3 separate picks. Yes.
Devin spitting that fire, Big G.
Sure, whatever. Wink, wink.
God, quit saying take it like a man, Devin.
Big Jimmy, you're going out and gotten some black BVD since. Well, no. Fuck my guy. My guy ruined it. Ruined my shot.
See, what happened was his Big Jim was ready to go. He was trenched
boots
out.
on. I had the high socks, the BVDs, and the trench coat.
And then Vern Troyer came up behind him and choked him out.
Fucker. And almost I thought he was going to break that man's
Vern
neck.
Troyer is definitely
Vern
dead.
Troyer is totally dead.
He's been dead for a while.
He is rest in peace.
Isn't that the guy that portrayed Dink?
No.
No, it was not. It was not.
Oh, that's
that sound effect
ding.
never
No,
good.
it's just my Dell assistant.
No, I like that better. Actually, I think that's a really good fail sound than like doo-doom. Oh man.
I'm gonna put that down. Windows
Windows
fail sound.
Windows fail sound.
or don't that one.
I know what that means. Ryan, since you're back with us.
How you doing?
I don't know, fucking same as every week. Why do you ask this all the time? What, are we supposed to change things up?
I mean, you could.
I'm so great. So happy to be here on the 3 Count Thursday podcast. It's my favorite part of the night.
Look at Tim.
How you doing?
I'm great. 3 Count Thursday is my favorite part of the evening. I'm so glad to be chapping it up with you chaps. Listen and seeing all these wonderful smiling faces on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Periscopes that still exist.
Somehow that still exists.
I know, man. It's so good. But
I heard we're a Twitter podcast now, right?
we are a Twitter podcast.
We're a Twitter
Definitely
cast.
getting more hits on the twitter.com than we are on the youtube.com and the facebook.com.
Facebook.com/3Count Thursday, Twitter.com/3Count Thursday, Periscope.com/what?
tinyurl.com/3CT YouTube.
Tiny dancer.
Do we have a link? Do we have a link tree too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. On all of our social medias, we got the link tree. Hit that. Everything's there. Everything's there.
Everything
All
here.
right,
We're good.
Good. Let's go to this, though. We are looking, of course, at August the 26th in pro wrestling history. We got 2 birthdays today. Petey Williams, born today in 1981, and Smiley Kylie Ray, born today, 1992. We go back 1979. Harley Race defeats Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight title in Orlando, Florida. Race began his 3rd run with the belt, ending Rhodes' first world title reign after only 5 days. 1991, WWE holds their 4th annual SummerSlam from Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York, in front of 20,000 fans. There was 1 dark match, 8 main card matches, and billed as the match made in heaven, the match made in hell. The show actually ended with the wedding of Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. The wedding went off without incident, and WWF gave their viewers a happy ending to the show, instead choosing to do an angle with Jake Roberts and Randy Savage at the wedding reception, which would air on television the following weekend. 1999, ECW held a TV taping for the 2nd edition of ECW on TNN at the Elks Lodge in Queens, New York, aka the Madhouse of Extreme. The first edition of the show was an introduction to ECW special. At this event, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley defeat Spike Dudley and Balls Mahoney to win the ECW World Tag Team Championship for the 8th time. shocking fans since it was known that this was the final ECW event for the Dudleys before going to WWF. However, at the end of the show, the Dudleys came back out, goaded an injured Tommy Dreamer into fighting them. Raven, then making his return to the company after leaving WCW, ran to the ring and won the belts with his longtime rival Dreamer. After the TV cameras were turned off, the fans chanted Dudleyville and gave Bubba and Devon a standing ovation as a farewell to the company. On this day, 2007, WWE holds their 12th annual SummerSlam from the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in front of 17,441 fans. The tagline for the show was "The party is over," at a buy rate of 537,000. Show featured one dark match, 8 main card matches, and John Cena defeated Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship in the main event. And those were the events that occurred on this day, August the 26th in pro wrestling history. Normally at this time we jump right into our wrestler of the week, but I think we're gonna preempt that with just kind of closing out the SummerSlam NXT TakeOver weekend, because obviously the standings will reflect things that happened last weekend. So let's start with SummerSlam. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to talk about from the shows? Charlie says, fuck Petey Williams for creating the most overused move in wrestling history. I don't remember Petey Williams inventing the super kick, but maybe I'm not up on my wrestling history. Although the Destroyer is definitely overused for sure. Oh, good God, Devin. Woo!
I just have a question in regards to the text you have on the bottom of the screen.
Love it. Love it.
Have I said anything about him for like the last 6-7 minutes of the podcast?
You have failed to acknowledge him, though.
You didn't. Not.
You have not acknowledged him.
Cool.
Until I don't have
a towel.
Will continue.
I don't have a towel in here.
You're not an Uso either.
But I go hard in the paint.
Well, hard somewhere.
Hey now.
Every so often when I can find it. Why am I coming?
So yeah, we should really talk about the barn burner of a match.
There's way too much here.
That Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie had at SummerSlam.
Do we have to?
I would rather spend time talking about the hot new debuting character that arrived at SummerSlam.
Oh.
I believe they never really said his name, but I believe his name is Bjork Lesnarson. Because there was a legit Viking man who
isn't that Parker Bordeaux fella?
I think. Oh, that might be.
That might be Parker we saw.
Might be. Yeah, that may have not actually been who they thought it was.
That might. I think it's Bjork Lesnarson. Whoever that guy is, he looks really like Brock Lesnar.
Do you know who he dresses like? Dean Ambrose.
A little bit.
He does kind of dress like Dad Ambrose.
What's going on?
All I know is that this Bjork Lesnarson, he looks like the guy who would have bullied every Brock Lesnar he went to school with.
Yes.
Like he ran the lunch money. Like
Charlie says, I think it was Hammerstone.
Oh, that could have been Jakob Hammerstone.
It could be. He looks like a guy Big Jim would drunkenly say to, "Hey, nice ponytail." And then all of Jim's friends would have to make sure Jim didn't get his ass kicked.
And
by
Jim
that
would
fella.
Now just so you know.
Jim would wake up to a bunch of AOL instant messages the next morning saying, "Dude, you really need to watch what you say to people when you're drunk."
Now, I believe this is also the same guy who would have doubled down and been like, "Hey, nice tramp stamp." But
maybe.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Maybe. Perhaps.
Is tramp stamp offensive in 2021? I never got confirmation on that.
I don't know if we're being
Is it
honest.
offensive to people with tattoos or offensive to tramps?
That's a good question too.
Because it's like you can't call a sleeveless t-shirt that is cut in a specific way. So the A-line tank top, you cannot call it a beater,
A blank beater.
an egg beater.
I also don't think you can call it
right because sometimes they're just your girlfriend.
T-shirt. Right? Like you can't call it an Italian T-shirt either, right?
Right.
Russ Vitale can.
The T-shirt, the shirt doesn't have hands to speak with.
A gabagoo!
Because they're
shut up with your face.
It's like growing up, I knew them as wife beaters. I also knew them as guinea tees. You can't say those anymore. So it's an A shirt? Is that what they're called?
A shirt, I guess. DeWiki, no. What they did is Jacob Hammerstone and Jakob Hammermeyer did the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance, and that's Bjork Lesnarson.
I have no idea who that is.
You need to watch something else.
Hey,
there's wrestling out there.
Hey, I watch Dynamite and Rampage. What else do you want from me?
Okay, congratulations. You watch Nitro and Thunder. Okay, cool.
Charlie says, y'all remember when WWECW crowd Lance Archer? I don't remember that.
Oh my
god. A lot of the WWECW stuff I wasn't there for.
Do me a favor. Go back and watch some of it.
Yeah, so just some of it.
Just some of it.
I watched a watch along with these guys from the Final Wrestling Place.
Ooh,
which is this really cool podcast because they were actually in the crowd for one of the WWECW shows.
They were, weren't they?
They were, and I seen them because they pointed out where they were, so I seen them.
Yeah, there was a guy.
I think I would like MLW. I do like. Are they still just on YouTube? I honestly don't know.
They're on MLW or not MLW. They're effing MLW. Shut the hell up, Tim. They're on BN.
I don't see. That's what I don't have that.
Well, maybe if you traded in your Peacock network for BN.
I don't pay for the cock.
Don't we wish we all did?
That's a soundbite. Might as well just
go ahead and just write that down.
Stay up 27.50.
Oh, they're on Vice. You have Vice?
Oh, I definitely have Vice. All right, well then I'll check that out. I need to.
Saturdays at noon. You're either watching football or you're getting ready to come back from the golf course.
All right, so Vice, MLW. I have so many notes on this page already. This is unbelievable.
He doesn't have Dish. He's got Verizon.
Where's my goddamn? Now I lost my mouse pointer. Oh, there it is.
It's the one that looks like an arrow.
I got four. Now I got 4 screens. I'm running everything off the new computer now.
Oh, Big Jim. Ryan is dead.
Ryan's dead. Where'd Ryan go?
He's got
maybe he's going to find that Harry whiskey. He's tired of our shit already.
He's like, oh my god, you're talking about wrestling.
Work part of the BDK.
Who's the worst part of the BDK?
Is Bjork.
Yes, Bjork is a part of the BDK. It's actually Tursus.
Okay.
Maybe he ate Aries. Yes, he did. It's actually Unmasked Tursus. That's who debuted.
There we go.
Welcome back.
That makes more sense. Welcome home, Ryan. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, no, I just kept getting booted from my Wi-Fi.
Yikes.
Well, that's never good.
No
just
bueno.
Repeatedly. I signed on, flashed, and signed off. I don't know.
Strange.
We'll see.
Strange times. We'll keep it going. It's still
Are
better.
we still talking about how good WWE is?
We were talking about Bjork Lesnarson. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't know who that. We haven't quite gotten to my love affair for.
Is Bjork Lesnarson the one that came back and destroyed Bianca Belair in 20 seconds?
Close.
Oh, wow.
Was that who that was?
No, that was actually Conor McGregor.
Was it? Okay.
That was Conor.
I mean, really kicked her last.
She so Conor came in there. She did a proper number 12 on her.
All right, can we talk about that?
Bing bang boom.
I'd love
just
to.
happened.
I would love to.
Let me preface anything I will say by I did not like the way they did this. I did not
Here
like
comes the
way,
butt.
No, I did not like the way they did the match. If we want to call whatever that thing 26-second thing was a match. I can kind of see what they're doing with it or the purpose to it. I still don't like it. Like, I get that, like, you know, it was going to be Sasha and then it was going to be Carmella and everybody was mad. And then Becky returns and everybody's happy Becky's back. And like Bianca's there. Hi, it's D Nice. Hi, D Nice.
Where's Jake Quellen?
And then so like for Bianca, it's like she's prepared to face Sasha, and then it's Carmella. Now it's a returning Becky. So like you're a little overwhelmed in the moment, but you're fighting champion. You're going to take on the challenge, and then you go for the handshake. You get duped. You get popped. The quote unquote match. Hated the way it was booked, and it wasn't even pulled off well. Like, it was the worst rock bottom I've ever seen. Or
because it was the manhandle slam.
Right, whatever they're calling it. So like I get it. I get what they're doing. I didn't like the way it was done though.
I also have my qualms about how it all went down. It is I definitely drew a comparison between this and AEW with the return of Phil from Chicago.
Okay.
We all knew that Becky Lynch was coming. Like, we didn't know when she was going to show up, but we knew Becky was on the come up. She was ready to come back and do some stuff.
Sure.
You're banned from saying the word "come" anymore. I can't even hear it without hearing your fucking sound drops.
Well, you need to come here.
Becky Lynch was coming. I can't not hear it.
Why am I coming? So you need to bring that up to your host to take all of those dirty, nasty, out of context sound clips off the board.
My nuts on it.
I will bet my nuts on it. I will still bet my nuts on it. So Phil from Chicago returns to wrestling at AEW. Worst kept secret. Everybody knows he's going to be there. See, correct. I didn't use the other word. The show he's supposed to return at, they just give it to us right away. There's no like him and Han. It's Cult of Personality. Here comes, I have to say that, here comes CM Punk.
Right.
On SummerSlam, though, we get Bianca, then an announcement that her opponent's not here, and an announcement of who her opponent is.
Mm-hmm.
And they trot Carmella out to like crickets.
Carmelo Anthony, absolutely.
Carmella Anthony, yes. And then Becky Lynch shows up and beats up Carmella, and they do the deal. It would have been so much better if you just don't bring Carmella out at all.
So if it was
Carmella is a non-factor in any of this. Like, everything that dealt with Carmella made that segment drag. If they would have said, if they would have said that Sasha Banks is not in attendance, however, WWE officials Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce have named a replacement. Her opponent hit the music, crowd go banana. Here comes Becky. You can still get Bianca getting real hype in the ring. There's no fighting. There's no need for the mic time for Becky to ask for the shot.
Because the match has already been made.
And then when you do the handshake and she pops her, it's more believable.
Okay. So you
can literally do. I also have an issue with the fact that it was 26 seconds and they really did Bianca dirty. But it's less dirty if Bianca has less time to prepare.
Gotcha.
See, at the time, the way it plays out, Bianca sees Becky Lynch come out, sees Becky Lynch beat up Carmella, and they have an in-ring interaction setting up the match.
Right.
And then she gets caught with a forearm and a rock bottom.
I mean, because
I'm not there.
She was still going for the handshake, and she got caught with the uppercut or the forearm or whatever it was. So like,
but haven't we seen this with Bianca Belair before? Like we saw the moments with like Bianca and Sasha at Mania where it almost was like the stage Bianca is on is too big for Bianca to be there. And I think that hurts Bianca Belair. Seeing another superstar return and Bianca is just so giddy, she loses her championship in 20-some seconds. That's not a good look.
I don't think she lost because she was giddy. I think the what they were trying to pull off.
Prepare. She's the champion.
All right, but this is where I don't think I don't think it was well executed.
The story they told does not match the story they are going to tell.
Like
the story they told was Bianca got caught with her hands down and lost in 26 seconds. The story they're going to tell is Becky Lynch played dirty pool, got what she wanted, and they're going to run her heel.
Yes.
But that's not the story I saw on Saturday.
It wasn't. I could see it. It wasn't executed well. It wasn't and that's the problem. It wasn't, I don't think, Ryan, at least to me, it wasn't that Bianca was overwhelmed by the moment. It was she sees the man who, is in kayfabe land a good guy. And so
good guys and bad guys.
So she extended the hand for the handshake, and she gets caught. Now she's dazed. She got
after that good guy has said, "I want to challenge you for the championship."
Well, yeah, but
so she's still prepared.
No, because like if you look at like a Ring of Honor match, when you have two honorable, the old days, you have two honorable superstars, you shake hands and then you start the match. That's what they were going for. Bianca's a good guy. Becky's a good guy. We shake hands, then we fight. Becky, turned the tide. I'm gonna play dirty pool.
So you saw the heel thing the whole time.
I saw
unlike what Tim was saying.
I saw that's what they were going for. I also don't think it was executed well.
Okay.
And to me, that's the problem. Like, I can understand people upset that it was a 26-second match. I'm not happy that it was a 26-second match. However, if we get the proper story told coming out of this, then I can rest a little bit easier with what happened at SummerSlam with hindsight.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, bro kick done. This was a little bit different, but I get how she caught her. I get that.
Right.
I don't know. It's just
it wasn't executed well. I do agree with Tim. The Carmella stuff wasn't necessary and took time. Like there was definitely a lot of filler on SummerSlam.
For sure.
And which is weird because like the first couple
this was the weak SummerSlam.
Yeah, we'll get to the overall grade, but it definitely, but like looking at like the opening, I mean up until match 9, everything was under 13 and a half minutes. Well, no, Damian Priest and Sheamus went 13:50. Everything was under 14 minutes till match 9. But like it still felt long. Like there was still a lot of stuff. Like you didn't need Tiffany Haddish announcing the nationwide champion, national champion. I didn't need AC Slater. Like there was just a lot of things I didn't need on the show. But like they just didn't execute the uppercut, rock bottom, or manhandle slam, or whatever they're calling it. Well, so like I again, but right away I went, oh, Becky's a heel now. Like that like I saw that right away. I don't necessarily get why you need to turn a returning Becky Lynch heel. But and I don't know, maybe she wants to be heel. Maybe she's done everything she can currently as a face with the man character. But
where does this leave Sasha?
I mean, she'll get back in the scene. You like,
maybe you can have more than one heel, sure.
Yeah, but the interesting thing now, and it's really this makes it even more unfortunate as we head towards like Survivor Series Survivor Series time, that all 4 horsewomen are currently heel now, and Bayley is hurt. Like that really makes the Bayley injury suck even more because they're all heel now, which I don't think we ever had at the same time before. Was Edge Seth Rollins easily match of the night for SummerSlam? You know, you have Roman Cena as match of the night, Tim?
I do, because it doesn't deliver what it doesn't deliver in match quality. It delivers on the spectacle.
Okay.
The only problem I have with the match really is they really tried to nail home that John Cena only needed a 3 count. And Cena went for a lot of quick pins. And I think that they might have gone to the well maybe 2 times too often in the beginning of the match.
Okay.
If you spread out those flash pins throughout the match, like do one in the beginning of the match, you get a 1 count. Then you do 1 to counter like a Samoan drop in the middle and get 2. And then you hit the AA and you get 2.5.
Yeah, I did.
Or
I
you
did
hit
like
Superfu and you get.
There was like a small package, right? Like a John Cena Roman Reigns small package.
There was multiple.
Yeah, there was multiple.
There was
schoolboys,
right.
Small package.
But I liked that part of that because the Roman kept telling us over and over John Cena's like 5 moves, missionary. It's the same John. It's the same John, and like Cena really didn't do anything that different, which I thought played into the story. And all Cena had to do was get that 3. And there was a couple of points where I actually thought that he was going to win, and like so because Friday night, and I really thought it was dumb that you added that stipulation. I think it's dumb on AEW's end that Jericho MJF is added a similar situation stipulation to Jericho the 5th labor part 2. But like when Roman said that, I'm like, why? Like you've now showed your hand. Like we now see what the end of the but there was definitely points to their credit that I thought they were going to hit 3 with Cena. And like the problem there is so Cena wins, then when Roman comes back, then you just have a meaningless stipulation. It's Savage Warrior. It's that situation all over again. So I don't like those stipulations. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna retire. We've all seen that game before.
And that was really just of arrogance from Roman Reigns. Like he will not only lose his championship, he will retire, and Cena has nothing on the line. So to Tim's point, that I think made Cena go to that well a ton. But at the same time, the name of the game in any match is a 3 count. So why wouldn't a wrestler try that more often than not?
Oh, sure. I mean, how many times do you see, you just see a body slam, and more, I think you saw it more when we were younger, but like, a power slam early in the match and a quick cover, and you hope you catch a guy. My match of the night I thought was Edge and Rollins, and like it was it formulaic to what Edge has been doing since his return, sure, but to me that formula works. Maybe I got all hopped up on the Brood music because like how good is the fun? Like when he hit that on Friday, I immediately went, man, I forgot how good that theme was.
Did that even rank when we did our theme thing?
I don't think it did.
That's a shame.
Or no, I think somebody had it. I think somebody might have nominated it into the tournament, but I think it may have
But
gotten
it did not. It fizzled out.
Yeah, I don't think it. Which I'm like, now I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, how did that not go further? Like, and maybe it's just that they caught me on a surprise nostalgia because I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. But that was my match of the night. Overall for SummerSlam, my match grade for the show brought it to a C. It didn't, to me, that show didn't even feel like a C. To me, that show felt more C minus D plus. Like Lesnar returning was cool. I didn't expect that to happen. So do you think, because I think Becky was a result of Sasha. Do you guys think Brock was a result of CM Punk? Bringing Brock back at SummerSlam.
I think that it's a happy coincidence.
Okay.
Like, especially when they announced after Becky Lynch's match that they're going back to Saudi Arabia in October.
Okay.
It makes sense that Brock is back.
Okay.
And it also makes sense the non-finish for Goldberg and Lesnar. Lashley.
Yeah.
Like, that is your Super Saiyan show, Crown Jewel, double main event.
Which scares me. Like,
right.
That
scares me. That feels like that we're gonna see a title change
unless you remove the strap from this guy beforehand.
Well,
you just have those two boys battle it out over in the sand.
So who do you move it to, though? And we'll get to this later because I think we'll put this on the sidebar. But I think WWE has a major top of the card problem, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's going to be a real good topic. I agree.
But yeah, I had this show at a C. It felt worse than that.
To answer your question about Brock, I don't think it's just a coincidence. I think the worst kept secret was the worst kept secret about CM Punk on Friday night. And AEW was smart for doing it because, quite frankly, that return overshadowed the entire SummerSlam card because the SummerSlam card did not deliver.
Yeah.
It was a C. I mean, if you're going to talk C as average, this was a below average SummerSlam. If you take all the SummerSlams, this one ranks near the bottom. So yeah, a below average SummerSlam. The Brock Lesnar bit, it brought it up a bit, but I don't think it's going to move the needle. Not to use that phrase, but move it to a different grade level. You know, there was nothing on this card that outshined CM Punk returning Friday night.
Yeah. And that's something I said when Tim and I went live on Saturday afternoon is there. I don't think there was anything WWE could do that was going to overshadow that moment. That was an all-time moment.
Yeah. Like I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah. I don't,
right?
You know, am I happy Brock's back? Sure. Am I happy that he didn't cut the ponytail? Absolutely. Am I happy that it looks like we're getting a baby face Brock Lesnar to counter? And Paul Heyman, how good was Paul Heyman in that return?
You could have stopped the sentence after how good is Paul Heyman.
Good is Paul Heyman? But right, like I can't wait to see where this goes. And I hope they let it breathe. Like we don't need Brock Roman at Extreme Rules.
Nope.
That's a Survivor Series. That's a Royal Rumble. Like, this is a story, because I think I saw a report today. Lesnar has 8 matches on this new deal. He signed
8 matches, year and a half.
So you have room to let things breathe, but you ought, 8.
So you're assuming Sansa time is 1.
Probably. That feels like a thing, which I still don't get in a surging pandemic why we're going to Saudi Arabia, but that's that's another topic for another week, I think.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Devin has
could Daniel Bryan coming back have moved? Not really, because he's in he was, you know what I mean? He's just returning. Adam Cole coming up doesn't do it. Even if they brought back Bray Wyatt that quick.
I think Daniel Bryan potentially, and Devin had the show at a B-. I think that's high, but
well, he graded it really well. So.
High kicking, cleaning Tim's clock. If Daniel Bryan would have came back, I think it would have had a.
It doesn't outshine CM Punk.
It doesn't outshine CM Punk, but I think it grabs the attention of the wrestling world because I think we all assume at this point that he's going AEW. So if he returns to WWE, I think there's an audible like, holy shit, didn't see that coming or whatever, however you want to describe it. But I think there's some surprise there because we all figure he's AEW bound.
Sure.
As Punk's promo last night somewhat gave away. And like, here's the deal. I'm not even.
Did you see Punk's Instagram? He posted a picture of the handshake.
Oh, nice.
Of him and Daniel Bryan from Ring of Honor.
So
just
like
the handshake. You don't see the bodies. It's a great picture.
So again, this is like worst kept secret part 2. And I sent out a tweet last night, and it was the clip of him saying, they're doing the yes chant, and he's like, that's somebody else's shtick. You're gonna just be a little bit more patient. And I tweeted that clip and I said, so are like surprises for the most part just not a thing anymore? And some people were like, they brought up TNT, how they were mad about staying, and like, and it's not that I don't enjoy that. It was just merely kind of an observation. Now, we did have the Becky surprise, which we kind of knew was coming. We figured Brock was coming back at some point. But for the most part, we and maybe we're just too smart to the business. Like we're too tuned in a way because of what we do. So like, but every week on Dynamite, they're going, wink, this is coming. Wink, we're doing it.
So why not lean into it? If you're AEW, you should lean into it. Be a little more patient. Does that mean this Friday? Does that mean next Wednesday? I guess I have to watch and find out. And when it doesn't happen on Wednesday and it doesn't happen on Friday, but the following Wednesday, Punk maybe writes DB on his sneakers. Oh, we're leaning into it a little bit more.
Right. That's been the fun because the AC BW, but apparently last week he had AC on one shoe, FC on the other, which is always Chicago, forever Chicago. But like everybody just saw the picture of the AC, so they assumed Adam Cole. This week they assumed Bray Wyatt. It's fun. But we'll cover CM Punk stuff when we get to Wrestler of the Week, I'm sure. Let's look at NXT TakeOver here quick before the break. What did you guys? Is there anything particularly from this show that and again, maybe it's, and I feel like I say this every time there's a NXT UK title match on a TakeOver card. I go, I fucking love this match. And maybe it's because I don't watch NXT UK every week. Tim's gone. Tim's done. Because I feel like if I see that type of match every week, I don't know if it's that impactful to me. But I loved this match. I didn't expect Dragunov to win. Especially not tapping out Walter. That kind of caught me off guard. I thought he was going to snap his head clean off his neck. Like that was a fantastic finish. But this match is on my matches of the year list.
Tim's very antsy today.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there.
I love it. It's such a mystery.
There's some, but
where's the intern?
Edge. Maybe he's looking for Mark. Edge and Rollins made my list. Is on my list.
Really? Okay. I didn't like it that much.
Now, do I think it's going to make the top 5 at the end of the year? I don't, but I added it to the list.
That's fair.
But Dragunov, Walter absolutely made is on the list. Any other thoughts from the card?
You're absolutely right for putting that match on your list, and I think that's what it is. I think at least you and I'm not sure for Tim, but the way Tim's acting, I don't think Tim watches very much NXT UK either. But when you see a Brit strong style match like this, it does stand out. When you watch for a WWE, AEW wrestling fan, when you watch something like a New Japan show or a New Japan match, it should feel different. It's a very different style of wrestling. So that does stick out on an American pay-per-view when you run a British style match like that. I loved it. I thought it was a great match. I thought this was slightly better than their one that they had in NXT UK.
Okay.
Tim, we're talking about Baby Huey.
I know. I've been listening.
Is that why you're getting all antsy over there?
No, I'm antsy because, so full disclosure, I had something super secret science jobby that I'm trying to print out, and I'm currently in the midst of a 60-minute Broadway with this printer. And he's winning. He's up like 7 falls to 0.
Yikes.
I'm over here. I'm dying. I'm just like, rest hold, headlock. I'm breathing. I'm just like, give me something, dude. Can you pull the ref?
Your printer's over there.
Sal Mandini. Want to wrestle?
What a great movie.
Oh, such a good movie. I was very disappointed with Cole and Cool Kyle. That match disappointed the crap out of me.
Kyle who?
Cool Kyle. Where's the guy? Wait. Oh, there it is. Cool Kyle.
There it was.
That match disappointed the crap out of me. It the first fall was super quick. The second fall, was kind of cool. I thought O'Reilly's was just dead. And then so he came off the top, through the chairs, thought he's dead. Then he gets handcuffed to the top rope, and he's still I don't know. It just, and maybe it's just one of those things where we've seen it too much, where we've seen this story too many times. And for me, I expected it to be an NXT classic, and it wasn't. I'm not saying it was bad. It felt it under-delivered.
This felt main roster. The gimmicky parts of the match, it felt like it was something I would see on a WWE pay-per-view. And it wasn't an NXT classic at all. It didn't feel like an NXT match to me, unfortunately. And the bullshit, everything's changing NXT, whatever. Maybe that tainted my thought process.
Sure.
But that's where my mind went. Oh, this feels main roster.
Yeah. It just, I'm happy Samoa Joe is your new NXT champion. But this show, great.
And that makes sense. They got rid of the Executioner down there and moved him up to the main roster.
Demolition Dagger.
I'm pissed.
Uh-oh. What's wrong?
You wanted the bondage gear and they gave it to Killer
I've been
Karrion
going
Kross?
60-minute Broadway trying to print this thing from my computer. I pull it up on my effing phone and the shit just prints. Just prints. No problem. The computer that said it was offline for the last 30 minutes.
Prince.
Finn Balor. Done.
Prince. Ayakea.
He also he thuds as well.
I'm pissed.
Balor and his club.
And by the way, congrats to Karrion Kross for getting stuck with an albatross of a gimmick. Good luck saddling up with Mason T-Bar, you overrated scrub. Get out.
Yo.
Send him to hell. Congrats to Joey Samoa, the only non-related Samoan in all of wrestling.
How?
So all the other family is connected.
No.
No.
But yeah, the Anawais.
And then the dancing
Joey
Samoans.
Samoa.
The dancing Samoan. He's a part of the dancing Samoans.
How do you have Karrion Kross with Scarlett the whole time in NXT? Lady Scarlet. As she was billed in a different company in a different time, the smoke show, right? Like as they're coming in, like she's the smoke show. How do you have that package in the way that the entrance was presented and everything? She's got the big nails, she's got the latex bodysuit, she's got the crazy face paint, all of that with Karrion Kross. And then his 5 matches that he went 2-2-1 in on Monday Night Raw without her. And he just walks out, doesn't even shave his head. Like he's got like the shitty like buzz cut like I have when I'm just too lazy to cut my hair. And then
Baron Corbin.
Right. He's got the Baron Corbin.
Bum ass Baron Corbin.
All right, get to Tim. His arm's gonna go numb from holding this out here.
What do we...
The question is, or the answer is, what is I don't know?
Thank you.
There it is. I thought that was the Vince McMahon pop you were going to hold up there.
God damn it, pal. She's too hot for you.
Like, so just disregarding, because like maybe we're just going to do something different on the main roster. But you have what looks like it's now his final match in NXT, defending his NXT title against Samoa Joe in this feud that has been a heater. And he comes out for this match. No Scarlet. No fanfare, no like he just kind of walks out like I'm Cross. I'm Karrion Kross, guys.
You know, you wanna get away from the feel of like what is it? Bow and kneel, that whole that kneel and bow.
Bow and pray.
Bow and pray. Just change his entrance music then and get away from that whole thing because it seems silly to not have that
fall and pray.
Is that what? Thank you, whoever watches wrestling more than I do, in the comments.
I'm like, no, that was just me. I'm like,
that was you, right? I had read somewhere that we will probably see Scarlet back with Killer Karrion Kross while on the main roster.
Why?
Because much like the Undertaker and the Urn, something with Scarlet is like that to the Karrion Kross character.
But like, why now?
Boring.
Like
I don't get it.
They fuck now. Like they've killed it. He's dead.
He is dead.
Mike said it kind of feels like Mike Awesome when he left ECW. The fans revolted on him, and yeah, like we saw the clip.
A great point.
And like, I mean, I get the point you said because I tweeted out that I thought it was somewhat bad form of the NXT audience after the show.
Nope, love it.
When they were chanting Jeff Hardy and like booing him out of the place. Like, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of bad form. But Ryan, you kind of had a point. You responded, well, that's what they did to him on Raw. Like, you know what I mean? Like WWE kind of did this. They did this to him.
9:07. Jim admits Ryan finally made a point after podcasting on
for 7 years.
Show for 7 years.
Got it. But they and then he shows up on Raw with a Wayfair demolition mask and some shit ass suspenders. What? Tim, you're muted. I can't.
Why did you have to say it like that?
What, the Wayfair demolition?
Yes.
It's not a bad call.
It makes sense though.
It is. He looks like the Executioner from WCW NWO Revenge.
Yes, that's a great one as well. Like
64 bits of goodness.
Like holy hell. And like I get like the main roster Raw is different than NXT and SmackDown is different than NXT. But like you've already had him on Raw, not with weird suspenders and the mask. So why now?
So you have,
and there's still no Scarlet.
That's true. That's probably the biggest one.
Like you want to give me the stupid mask and the suspenders? Sure, but have her in something that
her in nothing,
or that. But like have her in something that ties the two, that tie it. What like something that makes
bondage
sense.
You're not wrong, Jim.
Devin's not wrong either. He looked like he just came from the sex dungeon that he worked at. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Real quick, Devin, if you're still in the comments, has Tim acknowledged you yet? I'm just curious. You have not been acknowledged or have?
Or is this WWE just figuring out that Karrion Kross is a charisma vacuum, and this is just going to be an easy way to take it?
But he always has been. This isn't new, and I'm not trying to say like that's a bad thing. But the Killer Kross gimmick wasn't over the top and very charismatic. Like this is not anything really new to the guy Killer Karrion Kross.
He has not.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Maybe
it's not like Kross is the smallest guy. Like everybody's thinking NXT again, changing, getting away from the little guys. Kross is 6'4". So in the land of WWE, he's not super tall. But Kross isn't the smallest fella.
No, but he doesn't look that big on the main roster.
On the main roster, correct.
NXT, he was big.
But like Johnny Gargano's short.
Yeah.
He's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
Kross isn't necessarily that small.
And I mean, Undisputed Era guys are smaller guys, and Kushida, smaller guy. Like
Kushida.
NXT is somewhat, or has been, maybe it's changing, land of the little guy. A bit, because they signed a lot of indie talent.
Right.
Kross is bigger than it, but I had NXT TakeOver at a B-.
Ooh.
I feel like that's pretty fair. I feel like that's pretty fair. Any other thoughts on the weekend before we go to break?
I went into TakeOver the same mentality that I went in with SummerSlam. I feel like this was a less than average TakeOver. Nothing real special. So maybe the whole TakeOver and NXT thing does need a little kick in the ass and get back to some of the early TakeOvers. So who knows what'll happen? It may be the last TakeOver that I really intended on enjoying. Who knows? I don't know. Just watch. You got to watch.
Exactly.
Did I watch this show? I didn't.
At least you're honest. I'm not shocked that you didn't. You were down. I'm actually surprised you watched as much SummerSlam as you did.
I watched a decent amount of the show. I'm fucking around. I really did.
Devin had it at a C.
We didn't ask.
Thank you.
All right, let's pause here. We're going to go to break. On the other side, we have a wrestler of the week. We have a question of the week. We got plenty to go on the other side. Stick with us. 3 Count Thursday live.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports, and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
Are you looking for a place to listen to your favorite music and sports? Look no further. WLSN, the Lieb Sports and Music Network, is a web-based music and sports network. Our network was created to provide authentic, high-energy entertainment through live streaming to a national audience. We play popular music while hosting podcasts from all over the world. Curious? Check us out on the web at liebsports.com. That's LEEIB sports.com. Or find us on the TuneIn Radio app. Got Alexa? Just say, Alexa, play WLSN on TuneIn. WLSN is America's #1 blog-themed sports and music network.
Welcome back, 3 Count Thursday live, Thursday night, August the 26th, 2021. We're glad to be with you. If you're following along with us live, we appreciate that. Interact with us and give us a like and a share on the video. We'd appreciate that. Lee checked in with us in relation to Scarlett. He said it was noted by PW Insider Scarlett is not currently cleared. While there's nothing specifically wrong with her, she needed to take time off for an unknown reason. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up, Lee. That at least makes sense why she just up and disappeared from the package. But like, because I was like, did WWE just forget to book like who? Not only is she visually a great part of that presentation, but I think she's actually a good manager in that role. Like, I think she has played well in that part. So it was mind-boggling to me that WWE could just like forget that she was there.
So you're saying 3 Count Thursday breaking news, WWE may or may not be packaging Scarlett with Karrion Kross in the future.
There it is. Stay tuned to all 3 Count Thursday social medias to find out what may or may not happen in pro wrestling.
We are now journalists.
We have been on top of that game this week. All right, let's do this though, since we are in week number 20. Oops.
Way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. 3 Count Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
That is the most professional 22 seconds of our podcast
without
every single week.
Without question.
Such a great song.
It's so good. So again, it was DeWicki, and it was 2 people brought that to us, right, Tim?
That's DeWicki and Just Wall.
Perfect. Love those guys. Absolutely.
DeWicki and Paul Wall. Thank you, guys.
Let's start with the two of the group that are not here with us. We go to Matt had Josh Alexander as his number 1. Oh, soundboard, don't reload on me now. Okay,
not the time.
We're back. We're okay.
Look, you have a Josh Alexander sounder?
No. Getting ready for number 3. CM Punk is his number 2, and Cool Kyle.
O'Reilly Auto Parts
as his number 3 this week. Then we go to intern Mark. Had CM Punk as his number 1, Ilya Dragunov as his number 2, and Cameron Grimes, the new $1 million champion, to the moon, as his number 3. Did you guys catch NXT this week when Grimes gives Ted the actual $1 million belt back? And Ted's it was like insisted that he had, and it's the replica from the WWE shop. I've really enjoyed the way that they've used the $1 million man throughout this. Whether or not they keep utilizing him on screen, I hope they can keep utilizing him in the back, especially if NXT's kind of changing, as has been reported. You know, I think he's a valuable resource there for NXT in the development. But
I feel like that's the last we're going to see of the $1 million man.
Might be.
I feel like that stops the gimmick. The belt you have's not even the real thing. At the end, he drives off into the sunset in the limousine, and I think it was perfectly used. And that's the way the WWE should tap into all of their legends and utilize them to build the current crop of young and up and coming stars. If that's what NXT becomes, all for it. This was one of the best legends brought back I can remember.
Yeah, it was executed just about perfectly. Tim or Ryan, do you guys want to go next? Do you want me to go next?
I can go next because mine was a lot like Intern Mark's.
It was a kind of a mix of Intern Mark and Matthew. But yes, go ahead.
I have the CM Punk. Oh yeah, it definitely was. Ilya Dragunov beating up Walter. Poor Mrs. Big Jim. And I have Kyle O'Reilly.
Poor Mrs. Big Jim. Poor Big Jim.
Poor Big Jim.
All excited.
Who retired maybe the best NXT star we've ever seen in Adam Cole. So Kyle O'Reilly. Number 3.
Tim, do you want to?
CM Punk was number 1 for some reason.
Yeah, some reason. Tim, you want to just rip off the Band-Aid there, Tim?
3 Reigns, or 3 Dragunov, 2 Reigns, 1 Punk.
There you go.
What great picks. We should talk about them a little bit. I feel like those picks are solider than my picks. They
could have been your picks.
They are full. That wasn't my dumb bet. They are girthy picks. They take up a lot of space.
I will bet my nuts on it.
Roman Reigns. I thought that's where Devin was going to put Rob Noxious.
Some would say
he could have put anybody. He could have put Ed House.
Some would say some have made the comparison that Roman Reigns is the Rob Noxious of his generation.
I have heard that.
I've
also heard that Roman Reigns
straight out of your mother's bedroom.
doing all the positions but missionary.
He could be missionary either.
No, he's just what I've heard.
He's putting your mom in weird positions. Sauce it. But if I'm being honest, those picks are very. Oh my God, we're just saxophoning. If I'm honest,
that's a banging song. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That song holds up.
Seether's cover is better.
Oh, get the fuck out!
Better?
Shane McMahon.
No.
Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon. Shane
Cool.
McMahon.
I had to go to the printer.
Shane McMahon. Better than get out of here.
Good? Yes. Better? Not a chance.
It's a great cover. It's a cover. It's not better.
No, it is not better than the original.
Better.
Shane McMahon!
Unbelievable.
Great cover.
Better. There's not many covers that are better than the original.
I think there's a ton.
Is definitely not one of them.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Jim, I gave you a great topic for conversations with a nobody, and we still haven't. I don't know.
We
touched
need to,
it.
We do need to do that. I had it written down,
and I lost it.
No. It's
an entire podcast, Tim, surrounded by your favorite 10 cover songs.
Oh, I could do this hands down
every day.
Yeah, no,
I could do that right now.
This will happen on the discussions with a nobody. I promise. I will.
Real quick, what do you think is the best cover song that you can think of at the top of your head, Tim?
Hurt. Johnny Cash, Hurt.
I like that answer.
Absolutely. Great answer. I can't even argue that. It's definitely on my list.
Oh, dude, he made that song his song.
He absolutely did.
Hurt.
That song will move me to tears to this day.
Yeah.
You ain't kidding.
That
because
song is real.
About myself.
Oh, yeah.
On Hurt.
And to me, it's also connected to wrestling because I believe Eddie Guerrero's death
did a video with
was
it.
Hurt.
Oh, that might be.
I thought it was Here Without You.
Here Without You was
Here Without You.
There was somebody who had Hurt.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'll say look that up. I thought I've always remembered Eddie's as being Here Without You.
Was Benoit's Hurt?
Eddie Guerrero tribute video on WWE Raw. Johnny Cash is Hurt.
Okay, I was wrong. Was there another one with?
I don't remember. I'm trying to think of all the wrestling deaths. Pillman, Owen, Benoit, Eddie. Am I missing one?
Oh, so maybe they did 2 tributes to because
Here Without You is also Eddie.
It says SmackDown.
SmackDown. The other one I think was on Raw.
Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, because I remember. Fine, I'm gonna start crying. I can't do this right now. I can't watch that right now.
Hurt's on there. Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm
is
good. On the top list, like top 10.
Okay. That's good.
Um,
Metallica's Turn the Page.
That's a great cover.
It's a fucking banger.
I like Turn the Page, but I like Whiskey in the Jar.
I like Whiskey in the Jar better, I think, too.
Also, Metallica's Ecstasy of Gold.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Metallica's got a bunch on their own.
Yeah.
Sound of Silence by Disturbed.
Sound of Silence is good.
There.
Disturbed, or not Disturbed. Weezer had what's the Teal album?
Okay, while you're looking that up.
Yeah, they just did a whole cover album. That was great too.
There was one that was very good on that list.
Outside of Africa?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Billie Jean. Their Billie Jean was good.
In progress. I did not know that.
I actually didn't know that either.
But like the Garage Inc. album by Metallica is all covers.
Is that all covers, right?
Stone Cold Crate. They did a cover of Stone Cold Queen.
Two discs.
Dose discs. Metallica.
My top three this week. I had Riddle at number 3.
Ooh.
They had, of course, RK Bro had the Raw Tag Team title win, and then Riddle pinned AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw.
That's a good
very
week.
Next night. So that's a good week for him. Dragging off my number 2. My pal Phil from Chicago is my number 1. And dude, I'm loving everything they're doing with him. Like, yes, he's taking subtle shots.
You don't know how much this is music to my ears. Because I feel like you shit on CM Punk 6 of the last 7 years.
I certainly have, Ryan. I'm shocked. I got the fever.
I know, where the hell's Matt, by the way? He's not here tonight. Matt's a big CM Punk fan. I'm shocked he's not number 1 on his list. I know he's tuning in.
That surprised me
a lot to Impact Wrestling. So
yeah,
kudos to Matt for being our Impact guy.
I still feel like that's bad. I thought this should have been clean sweep for Phil from Chicago. But the two promos, like he's if people want to like call them shots at WWE, like I think it was more just him telling his story. I don't find them as egregious as like the things AEW normally does. And then I tweeted out a clip. Somebody had taken video last night after the show when like you have the faces in the ring and thanking the crowd and blah blah blah. And there's been a couple times over this summer where it's been like, don't watch the other network, or they do stupid things over on that show. And you had CM Punk and Christian Cage along with Frankie Kazarian. And very easily, you could have had CM Punk and Christian Cage fire shots at the other side, and they didn't. Like everything they've done in the last week with this CM Punk return, I have absolutely loved. I think they are just doing it so extremely well, and I've loved pretty much every minute of it. I really have. So definitely kudos to them. On that one, and Ryan's in the comments too.
One of the only 7 Periscope users left. 2 out of 7 are here.
So let's look at the weekly standings for this week, Tim.
So weekly standings, even though he did not get the clean sweep, CM Punk does take first place honors with a 23 out of 25 point week. Ilya Dragunov coming in second with 10. Josh Alexander with his 1 first place vote puts him in third. And Roman Reigns with 3 points extends his stranglehold on the top spot.
Ooh.
So if we were to switch to the year standings, they are very similar to what we saw last week, except Roman Reigns is +1. For every first place vote for the week, you earn 10 points towards the year-end standings. Second place gives you 7, third place gives you 4, and fourth place gives you 1. Notably, Josh Alexander does move up as well with his third place vote. And now CM Punk is right outside of the top 8 with his 10-point week, tied up with some very notable dignitaries in the world of wrestling, including but not limited to Miro, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Miko Satomura, Io Shirai, Nikki ASH, Pete Dunne, and of course, Cool Cow.
I guess I got to start putting Gage Goldberg back on my list.
Ryan Miller checks in. He says, "Where is intern Mark?"
Very excellent question. I believe he's touching flaming dicks with Dirty Harry. I don't know.
Oh my.
Devin says, "You son of a guns." Tim was about to acknowledge me. We cut him off. He considers part of his group the food line. Is that a fat joke? Are you calling us fat, Devin? That's messed up, man.
Also, not wrong.
I wasn't gonna. There was nothing like acknowledgement. Isn't.
By the way, I had taco because Lidditz has a Taco Bell. I had breakfast from Taco Bell this week, and it was delicious. So I got a shit. Let me find it. I want to make sure.
Yeah, you did.
I want to make sure that I give out the.
I had lunch there today, and they are definitely working through their through their
times
line.
have you eaten there?
So are you. You're working through it too.
Since they've opened?
Yes.
When did they open?
Like a week ago.
3.
Okay. I've gotten breakfast. So I had a breakfast crunch wrap, and I had a grande toasted breakfast burrito.
Ooh, what is on the grande toasted breakfast burrito?
The grande toasted breakfast burrito has eggs, sausage, potatoes. I know you would really go for the sausage, Ryan.
Sausage.
Because you, in fact,
I'm a sausage guy.
And it had tomatoes.
Ooh.
And here's the key. And here's the you can customize it, especially
I like tomatoes. That's fine.
If you order through the app, you can customize it and not get tomatoes on it. But they have a breakfast salsa. Now, it's not really
salsa.
It's not really any different than
salsa.
Than like any like mild sauce. But it's a little sweet and it's a little spicy, and it was so fucking good on both the breakfast crunch wrap and the grande toasted breakfast burrito.
That was also what was described from my order while I was in Chicago from that website where I ordered entertainment.
Oh,
I wanted sweet and spicy.
Mike says some people use Juice Cleanse, other people use Taco Bell. Yeah.
I mean, you've watched us enough. You know we're not healthy.
Taco Bell juice. It's 21 gun salute right there. I'm now stuck on these covers, man.
Dude, I know.
Why did you do this?
We do need to do this.
I can't wait. I've got a list of 15 on my phone. We should talk about it.
I have
this show, right?
I have an entire playlist on my phone of nothing but covers.
I mean, this show's great. We should keep doing this.
Let's do. Well, let's close
What
out.
would Devin do if we turned the radio thing off?
Let's close out the wrestler of the week.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. 3 Count Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
The 3 count question of the week.
There it is. We've wrapped up our professional part of the podcast. Yeah, the big news of the last week. Of course, CM Punk's return to wrestling. Tim and I did a special podcast on it last week. And the one of the biggest takeaways from it was the pop, the crowd reaction to thank you.
I can't do it.
You're always been good at that, Ryan. You really have.
I don't understand.
I got pudgy cheeks.
I still just don't. Even though I just did it, How do you do it from the outside of your mouth?
I don't know. It's how you do it.
Like
it catches. There was a good one.
But
I'm inside.
I'm an inside guy.
Oh.
See, I can't do it from the outside. I got to get in.
My mustache gets in the way.
I know it's too much. There's too much skin friction.
Yeah, maybe I don't have pudgy enough cheeks. I mean,
yeah,
I
think your cheeks are pudgy. I just don't think you have
them here. I have them here.
You don't have the.
Well, then snap it into your nose.
The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
I didn't like that at all. Guns N' Roses knocking on heaven's door. Oh, get the fuck out. That's a great cover.
Could have done without that one.
You're a piece of shit.
Couldn't give me patience, but you can give me knocking on heaven's door for 12 minutes.
Great. Yeah, Tim was hot. You were hot about that the other week.
I'm hot again.
Go to your car and listen to Patience then.
The question of the week this week, where does CM Punk's now we lost Tim again.
Sorry, Cam went to now Ryan.
Oh no, we lost Ryan. Where does CM Punk's AEW debut pop rank all time in wrestling?
That's so hard. This is a pop 7 years in the making.
Absolutely.
I have accepted after like 3 years of Punk out of wrestling that we are never going to see CM Punk in a wrestling ring ever again. And then from the ground rises All Elite Wrestling. And all of a sudden, there's an alternative that's worth, no offense to Impact, Ring of Honor, Phil from Chicago, CM Punk coming back to professional wrestling.
Sure.
There is an alternative that's not the WWE. So for years, I've accepted that we'll never see CM Punk in a wrestling ring again, when really it should have been we'll never see CM Punk in a WWE ring again. They absolutely had to start the show the way they did. You don't start that show with the hot-ass crowd chanting CM Punk and trot anybody but CM Punk out.
Even that.
Yo, right?
Like, I'm getting like I've watched this so many times, and like goosebumps still.
And Jim, to your point earlier when you said about surprises, it doesn't matter.
No.
Listen to this pop. It doesn't matter.
No,
everybody knew it was going to happen, but when you see it, it's still special. 7 years in the making, Jim. This is easily top 1 or 2. Top 1 or 2 pops of all time.
So,
man, that's
1 or 2.
That is
of all for volume and sustainability and length of the pop. A moment 7 years. This isn't Stone Cold coming back from a broken neck after X amount of months and the glass breaking. That's a pop, boom, Austin. This was
the sustain might get it. Devin says top 10. The Food Line name wasn't a bad joke. I know, buddy. We're just messing with you. Mike says Brian winning the bell at 30, probably only bigger pop he's heard.
So that was pretty long too.
My question is, does pop have to be positive?
No, I don't think so.
So you're thinking Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker, This Is My Yard Now?
Yeah,
that was really long.
Fans hijacked Raw to start for like 7 minutes.
That's a great call too.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Let me see. I'm pulling that up now.
I'll stick where I said then 1 or 2. Still 1 or 2.
It's still 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hogan.
I'm not going to say it's the best, but it's 1 or 2.
Hogan joining the NWO. the sustained just hate from that crowd. Like it.
This is the start of Raw after WrestleMania roller coaster. Yes, there's the music hitting, crowds hot. Let me get him in the ring. I hear they cut it to every time he pulls the mic up, I think
the crowd gets louder.
Yeah, so there he's pulling the mic up, and it just
And this was an Orlando crowd.
Yes.
And then Orlando doesn't get a lot of credit for being like the biggest wrestling town.
So it's
a smart crowd.
It's a night after WrestleMania crowd.
But I don't want to take that away from anything. A night after WrestleMania crowd. This was a Chicago crowd for CM Punk.
Right, but Chicago is a wrestling
It is a wrestling town.
Yeah.
And I think it's growing.
I had written a few down. The Triple H return from the quad injury, Raw at Madison Square Garden, was huge and sustained.
Yeah, and a top 10 video package too.
Oh my God,
the Beautiful Day video package for Triple H.
So fucking.
It makes just hearing that song makes me just think I want to go sprint. I don't. I'm not gonna. Yes,
right. Beautiful Day makes you want to run.
The thought of that puts the image in my head of the rehab video.
Okay, I got you.
From Triple H and how motivating that is.
And then you remember
that. Yeah, I'd have been like, "It's a beautiful." Someone call 911. I don't even have asthma, and I'm asking for an inhaler.
This one admittedly wasn't as big, but the Cena pop from Rumble in 2008 was big.
It was big. Like it wasn't as long, but it was huge.
Y2J arriving in WWE when Jericho hits the screen.
That's good.
That's a solid pop.
Was huge. The Rock. Now I had to look this one up because I think somebody had commented on it when he returned in 2011 when he was announced as the host of WrestleMania 27.
Oh, with the electricity going through the building, and then eventually
the lights gradually all go off, the video package airs, and then his music hits. That one was big. This one, you go back to a SummerSlam when Warrior beat. I don't think it was not bigger than CM Punk. When Warrior came out and beat Honky Tonk Man, that place. Go watch. Just go pull up that video. It's like 2.5 minutes long.
Okay.
That place came unglued. The other one I had, Mankind, when he won the title on Raw in '99, because you had Mankind winning the title combined with a Stone Cold Steve Austin interference on the corporation. Yeah. It was just kind of a perfect storm.
And lots of good messages in the comment section here. Always live on 3 Count Thursday. Watch us wherever you get your wherever you can watch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope. But we've got Charlie Hulk after Mania 18 in the red and yellow the night after. That's up there. Charlie also mentioned Triple H in the Garden with the Beautiful Day package. Lee. Hogan's return in Montreal was big. I can see that. I definitely can. Charlie, once again, Dolph Ziggler's cash-in, huge.
That one was big.
Wow, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's the night after WrestleMania 29. So that was a big cash-in as well. Reminder of WrestleMania of Yeselmania 1. Goldberg beating Hulk at the Georgia Dome. I'm actually coming up on that episode of my Nitro watch-alongs.
Oh, nice.
That's really good. And then Charlie again, the John Cena one night stand pop. The anti-pop.
Okay, that was a good
that was huge as well.
Mike commenting to put asses in the seats to mankind.
Yeah, and then not Shane. Devin says something here about
Shane McMahon's return in 2017. Don't worry, we
Sure.
can't hit the sounder again.
Okay, yeah, Shane.
That pop was big.
That pop was solid for sure.
I think it's hard because, and I looked at Cena's return at Money in the Bank, but do we know how much of that was piped in too? Because they have been sweetening crowds since WWE's been back on the road. So I don't know if that was all organic or not. Pat McAfee, which, by the way, get well soon, Pat McAfee.
Absolutely. That sucks real bad.
SmackDown's gonna suck for like 2 weeks now.
I saw somebody say that they should bring in Bailey to do commentary. I don't know.
Here's what you do: you Thunderdome Pat McAfee in.
Oh, there you go.
Put a screen next to Michael Cole and have 104-degree temperature. Pat McAfee call SmackDown in a fever dream.
I would love, dude. That'd be so great.
Dude, man.
Oh, man, Roman Reigns' hair is so great.
Mike here says NWO 1, Bryan 2, Cena wins, we riot 3, Punk 4. Okay. I mean, Punk at Money in the Bank 2011, I think might rival this one as well. Again, hot crowd.
And Chicago.
Also Chicago.
Oh yeah, the Hardys WrestleMania 33
really
return.
Said it would have been. Charlie says it would have been so much better if it was in a dome, not a stadium. But even then,
lost all the sound. Yeah.
Even then, the crowd was still loud as shit. That's a great one.
And that was a real special one too, because I don't think anybody really knew that was happening.
No,
again, I think it was
a surprise moment.
We felt like it might, but they wrestled Ring of Honor the Saturday before.
Yeah. So
in a ladder match.
Correct, right.
Against the Young Bucks.
That was a hell of a pop. Here's the deal. I don't know how big the Chicago venue was, but AEW could have put it in a larger venue and still packed it out. And that would have, I think, made this pop even a little bit louder.
Well, this was in the United Center.
Oh, it was? Oh, I thought this was a smaller. Okay.
This was the big boy.
Oh, okay. Bobby.
Which leads me to believe
to them then.
Yeah. Because All Out goes back to the formerly known as the Sears Arena, Sears Center, the Now Center. Is this the last year that All Out runs the Now Center?
Probably.
Because they got Punk now.
Yeah, I mean, in a year, they really, if the Daniel Bryan wink wink nudge nudge is true, if they do land Wyndham Rotunda, there's been talks AEW or Impact Wrestling is very interested in Wyndham Rotunda. If Adam Cole doesn't re-sign with WWE, if he goes to AEW,
so let's talk for a second. AEW signs William Rotunda.
Wyndham Rotunda.
And brings him in, whatever the fuck his name is, as IRS Junior.
Oh.
How awful. You think? He comes out with this little briefcase?
Oh my god, dude, how fucking awful. That would be so bad.
Or what was his name in WC? Something Wall Street?
VK Wall Street,
VK
Michael
Wall Street.
Have him restart. Have him.
Wyndham Wall Street.
No, I got it.
Wyndham Wall Street.
You turn him into a mixture of Mike Rotunda and Kevin Sullivan, and he brainwashes the Varsity Blondes and recreates the Varsity Club.
Oh,
there it is. Write it down.
Charlie says Edge's return was huge. Absolutely.
Which one?
Not as big as this. Not as big as this return.
The first one at Royal Rumble.
Dude, go back to that Rumble.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah, I remember the crowd chanting for Edge up until he fucking came out. That was real hot.
It's
not
different because they thought Edge was dead.
Get over it. Not as big.
Yes, the night when Sting first came down and beat up the NWO. Yep. I mean, I was hot too.
Was that like the first Crow Sting?
Crow Sting had been around since like right after Fall Brawl 96, but he had been like in the rafters and not like in the ring performing.
No way. Oh my!
You gotta be kidding me.
The rated R superstar!
Thanks, Booker.
Edge is here!
You leave my dad alone.
Yeah, that one's definitely up there too. There's a great.
Man,
I
feel like that music just drowns the crowd out, though. Maybe they had it louder.
There's a great montage I saw every time. Listen to Michael Cole.
No way. Oh my!
There's a great montage every time there's like a surprise return for like the last 15 years. You just hear Michael Cole. Oh my! Every single time.
I mean, it's a great call.
It is a great call. It's just like it when you see it in montage form, you'll never be able to not hear that. Like, just way out there.
Really, the only better call I can think of is, oh my goodness, what a maneuver.
I mean, that's a good call. That's a great call.
I'm looking up this montage right now.
Mike's off topic. Thoughts on Davey Richards versus Minoru Suzuki?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, Jim, you're a heel.
God damn. Tim, do you have thoughts?
Do you know who Minoru Suzuki is?
Is this a real question?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
And Tim's gone.
No. Here's my thought. Here's my
He's the guy that builds those motorcycles, Jim.
Yeah, that's him. His dad.
His brother Kevin Kawasaki.
Yep.
No?
Mike, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Davey Richards did nothing for me as an American Wolf. He does nothing for me now.
Dude, a lot of people were really poo-pooing on him real recently. I forget what it was about, but there was a lot of maybe he stiffed a guy or wasn't shaking people's hands or some shit, but I read something about it. I forget where that was.
Well, it's 2021. It's a pandemic. Yeah, it's
like
you're not wrong.
Like I've gone on, like when I went on job interviews, like I shook hands and immediately my head went, "Oh my god!"
It feels weird to shake hands.
Oh, I didn't like it. I bathed my hands in sanitizer.
Where's the Suzuki match happening? Is this GCW?
MLW, I think.
Oh, MLW. Okay.
Or no, is it?
Well, if I start watching it, maybe I'll see it.
Who was older, Suzuki or Goldberg?
Charlie also says completely different kind of pop, but the holy shit chant when Bam Bam put Taz
Glory
on the ramp.
Glory Pro is
okay.
Is got the Minoru Suzuki match. Minoru Suzuki,
he's 53.
And Goldberg is 54.
54.
Okay, so Goldberg's older.
And Minoru Suzuki would eat Goldberg's lunch.
He would eat Goldberg's ass.
Oh boy.
Sauce it.
Here's my final thought on the Punk pop.
Sauce it.
It's I think it's very difficult to really like appropriately rank pops just because production quality is different and like what I'll say about the Punk pop is that, and I said it on Saturday when it was me and Tim, that is an all-time moment. Like when I don't care if AEW lasts 6 more months or 60 more years, when you're talking about the history of professional wrestling, the return of CM Punk on AEW Rampage is an all-time moment. The crowd reaction, like, and again, we all knew it was happening, and the fact that there wasn't a swerve, there wasn't a moment of gaga. It was literally you start the show, you present exactly what you said. Punk comes out, 7 years of build up. It was that's an all-time moment. That is, you know, it's there it is up there with all of the best and biggest pops and moments in the history of the business. It is. Like that's what it is.
That's a fair way to put it.
You know, in the fact that at 36 years old, that a moment, you know, where I play 15 seconds of a clip that it's like a moment from now, not when I was a kid, not when this was magical to me, not when I still believed it was real, all of that stuff. Like this is a moment when I'm a 36-year-old adult, when theoretically speaking, we're smart to the business and we know what's coming and we know all the tricks, and you can still present a moment to me that gives me that reaction.
Yep.
That's all time, absolutely all time.
Kudos to Tommy Dreamer for, I think, taking care of the guy that was emotional. But again, I think that speaks to the moment. Like, this is so much more than just a television, so much more than just professional wrestling. I said I wrote off CM Punk. We will never see CM Punk again in a professional wrestling ring. This is a magical moment. And somebody that's that invested in a product that's going to be moved to tears, emotional, you're doing something right.
And like let's address that little part of it. And I do want to get to the WWE roster problem topic. We can save the NXT because NXT is changing. We're not going to stop it. It'll still be topical next week. Like if you're invested in this business, if you're invested and you're watching week in, week out, or you know, whatever, let's just in general as well, but like the shaming or like mocking of the fan who's like emotional from this. You don't know what that guy's story and situation is right now either. Like,
who cares what that guy's story is? Right. He was moved by something that you're watching. This should be every wrestler's goal, every commentator's goal, every manager's goal, every ring announcer's goal is to move somebody enough to get a real emotion out of them. And if you're not doing that, if you're not striving for that, you need to try harder or you need to get out of the business. This is indie, fucking training, indie, small time, big time, WWE, AEW. You want that. Whether that guy's having a hard day, a bad day, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it quote unquote matters what that, but like I think just in general, like as we're interacting with people on a daily basis,
that's fair.
Like you don't know what that person's going through, so we don't know if that guy, if there is more going on in that guy's life. That this is a moment in time where his favorite wrestler is returning, and he's caught up in the emotion of it. Or he's literally on top of the world, and his favorite wrestler is just returning after 7 years. A moment he didn't like when Bret Hart returned before WrestleMania 26. Like that got me back into wrestling. Like that was an emotional. Like I didn't think he was ever going to be back in the WWE, and the fact that he was back there. You know, Charlie says here, he's like, I'll proudly admit it. He cried like a bitch when Kofi won the title. I'm pretty sure I cried when Kofi won the title. Like this business has brought me to tears numerous times.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Like there's no shame in that. There's no shame in things bringing you to tears, period. But like if you're invested in any sort of entertainment, like if at the end of, you know, when the end of the Rocky movie, or if at the end of a movie that you're invested in and you love the franchise and you're invested in it, something emotional happens in a movie, are you gonna mock somebody at crying over a movie?
Dude, I mock this movie all the time, Jim. I cried at Rudy.
I cry at Rudy.
I cried tears of joy when that fucking movie finally is over. What a piece of shit.
You are an asshole.
What about that one time where everybody brought their jerseys and put it on the desk? That was real.
What happened, Tim? We can't hear you. Mike says he was in the crowd that night. He cried when Kofi won the title.
That you could feel.
Charlie, you're allowed to be wrong about Rocky 2 being the best. I won't take that away from you, but you're definitely wrong. The correct answer is Rocky 4. The other acceptable answer is the first one. The
Rocky 3.
Rocky 3 is not the best one.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman. You want to be a real man? You tell me, Clubber Lang. Oh, my God.
Jim, you just opened a big can of worms here, I think.
The reason we won the Cold War, which 2021 aside, I don't know if that's still... But the reason we won the Cold War in the 80s is because of Rocky 4. No, Charlie, it is not hands down Rocky 2. Stop it. Thank you, Mike. If he dies, he dies. It's Rocky.
Yeah.
4. Rocky, the first one is a close like 1A. And then like in 2 and 3 are right. I mean, they're like the first 4 are fantastic movies.
Oh, Rocky 5's a fine movie.
Rocky 5's a fine movie. It is a
terrible Rocky. Rocky Balboa was better than Rocky 5.
Rocky Balboa is a banger of a movie. In that, like, Rocky Balboa is what Rocky 5 should have been.
Bingo.
Like, what if you look at Rocky 5, but like just the plot of the movie in and of itself, a boxer at the end of his career needs to fight to save his finances one more time, starts managing this kid and then has to street fight. That's a good story. That's a terrible Rocky movie.
Yep, you're right.
Terrible Rocky movie. Just awful.
Just the shits.
Just awful. Charlie, he says wife goes into a coma, wastes his kid with her, tells him win, and after he's won, it's all for his wife. I get it. I mean, it's a great, but like he changed the Soviet people.
If I could judge, then you could judge.
The Russian people, they ended up cheering the American in Russia.
Which one did Mickey die in?
3. Mickey died.
Man, see, oh boy.
3.
Yikes! I'll have to watch him again.
What movie did Rocky Balboa get trained to be a black fighter?
That was also 3.
That was also Rocky 3.
But in 4, he avenges another friend's death, and he defeats the Soviet Union. I don't see how we're arguing this.
That's a tough one.
Anyway, all right. Let's do this
real quick. Back to the topic. Let's get rid of the toxic thoughts that men can't be emotional. I think we can get rid of this, and that fixes a lot of this. Like, we all need to do better.
And that's coming from the non-crier of the group.
And that really is. That's coming from the guy who makes like inappropriate jokes and comments. But I can do so because I feel really comfortable with myself and the fact that I am an emotional person and that it is okay to show emotion and to cry. Like, let's get over that. It's
the
2021.
Real, quote,
let's
real
be better.
Is so tired, so stupid. Like, manliness. What we've been taught as manliness in this country, in this society, is just the biggest crock of shit in the entire world.
And I hate the fact that there are tons of people that I'm sure agree with the 3 of our comments right now that outwardly, publicly would have a hard time admitting that. Let's break that stereotype. Let's break that stigma, and we will all be better for it.
Travis, I think we can all agree Rocky 5 with Tommy Gunn was a piece of shit. As a Rocky movie, absolutely.
It's a piece of shit Rocky movie. Yes.
It is a horrible
There's no boxing.
Except for
the street fighting
of Tommy Gunn, climbing the ranks, and then the big fight is a street fight. Which the super boxer, the fighter, the young guy can't even beat a broken down old man with brain damage. So he clearly sucked.
He wasn't good.
Okay. Final thing before we close up tonight.
Is Tommy Gunn one of those AEW Gun Club guys?
Yeah, he's the 4th gun.
He's the 4th one.
So. Mike says that movie is disrespectful to trash.
That's fair.
I will agree with that. All right. Final thing before we go.
He was talking about Rudy, right?
You son of a bitch. Touched on it a little bit earlier. when we were talking about Roman Reigns, the return of Brock Lesnar and whatnot. And it is that WWE has a, and we've covered the releases and we've covered, thinning the roster and all of that. But WWE really, I think, has a major problem, especially at the top of the card. Because on Raw, you have Mr. Lashley. You have Bill Goldberg. You have Drew McIntyre. And then right now, what else do you have? Because you have Randy Orton and Riddle as a tag team, bro.
And do you think Riddle's ready?
I don't think Riddle's ready.
Orton belongs there. Orton should be top of card.
Orton you can put in the main event picture immediately. But again, well on the wrong side of 30.
What Orton's doing with Riddle, getting Riddle ready?
Yes.
Will that rise them both? Okay.
Yes, I think this is I said towards the latter part of the Thunderdome, I said one of your biggest stars coming out of this is going to be Riddle. Whether people like it or not, that's a whole different that's a whole different that's a whole different situation. And for the people that aren't a fan, I get it. But Riddle is a rising star in that company. AJ Styles, you could break him from the Omos tag team, and he's right there in the title picture. But again, he's as Conrad Thompson will remind us, he's 44 years old or whatever. WWE has a big problem, and especially on Raw, but you go to the SmackDown side. Roman Reigns has run through that locker room. You have Big E with the briefcase. You have a returning Brock Lesnar or a Bjork Lesnarson. What else do you have? What else do you have on SmackDown?
I mean, you have Rollins, who's carried the championship before.
Okay, right now he's a mid Carter. Edge
mid carding with Edge. Edge has been there, but
Edge,
Reigns has already beat Edge.
Reigns has already double stacked him and then beat him solo.
We still can't figure out what to do with Cesaro. Where'd he go? Is he hurt?
Good question.
He lost to Roman Reigns, and now
he also lost to Reigns.
Right.
I mean, I feel like SmackDown, there's more options, even though Reigns has run through everybody. There are some options. I feel like you could say, hey, I watched what you did with this guy, and I learned something, and I want to try again.
Yeah, and I like they are believable.
Where Raw's really Lashley, Drew, Goldberg.
Charlie, I agree. Riddle in a couple of years, absolutely. That guy has at least a couple WWE championship runs in him. I
think so.
Because he's still under 30 or right around 30.
Riddle's younger. I think Priest has the look to be a superstar.
You gotta run
Priest
that
age. You gotta run that quick.
You gotta run that quick. He is a new star. He's not a young star. On SmackDown, you have Finn, possibly Cole, depending what happens there. Mike, great point. The best act on SmackDown, Broken Corbin. How good, dude.
So Riddle's 35. He's the wrong side of 30. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I would have guessed like 28, 29.
Yeah. Born in 86. He's an old boy.
Again,
when did 36 become old? Or 86? When did 86 become old?
I feel old as shit.
I feel very old.
Fuck you, buddy.
I'm next week's gonna be Monday's gonna hit me like a bullet train in a couple of days. 17 months off of work, and I'm that train's a coming to town.
Choo-choo.
Kevin Owens. Okay, Kevin Owens is there, but
how old's he?
He's not young either. Nakamura. So
how old's he?
He's old.
But again, we're talking. These are SmackDown fellas.
44 on Monday, so fuck all of y'all. Happy early birthday, Charlie.
Happy early birthday, young buck.
So yes, you have
Nakamura is 41.
He's older than AJ Styles, or he's older than
older than Riddle.
Oh, definitely older than Riddle.
I remember when there was that Summer Survivor Series team with Bob Roode, Nakamura, Shane McMahon, Randy Orton.
Owens is only 37. I thought Owens was older than that.
Okay. You did say Bob. So they have people that you could throw into the title picture, but
Karrion Kross.
I think you have a big problem with, like, it's short-sighted, I feel like, because yes, you can easily throw some of those guys into the title picture, and it's believable because we know AJ Styles is a top guy, we know Orton's a top guy, but what's next? Not who's next. What's next? There's not a lot of depth on the roster. I don't think. Like, and maybe that's where this possible change to NXT and maybe this is all tied together. Maybe this possible change with NXT and the mindset of, instead of going out and signing established independent stars, but instead building WWE superstars. What NXT was originally designed to do, what FCW was, or OVW, not FCW.
FCW.
But
OVW too, yeah.
Oh, but OVW before it, like Cena, Batista, Lesnar, like the list of names that came out of OVW in the early 2000s that became that crop of stars for the next, I mean, some of them are still going now. If that's the mindset behind the change to NXT, because I get it, like what we've attached to NXT as a brand for the last 7 years or whatever it is, it may look very different in a couple of weeks, because that's why the NXT shows have been taped for the next few weeks, because they're overhauling the Performance Center.
That makes sense.
But I think you have to look at the beginning of the NXTs. So your NXT Arrival, NXT Our Evolution shows. Is that the NXT they're going to? Is that the mindset? And look at the wrestlers that were the top of their those guys aren't in the WWE. Those are your Pacs, your Bo Dallases. These aren't guys that made us impact in the WWE in the grand scheme of things.
Before that, I think you're looking NXT. I think they're looking at it like pre-network, as a developmental territory, if you want to use that word.
So like we're not looking at game show NXT.
No,
you have.
I think you're looking more OVW, FCW sort of thing. Now you're gonna have some names that people recognize, whatever, but like, because there has to be a reason to watch. But like the people that you recognize are going to help the developing talent become people you want to watch on a weekly basis. So like, yes, change is scary. Yes, the thought of the NXT that we know and love being different is a little scary. But personally, like, maybe this is why I want to let it play out, because if we are tired of the same stuff on Raw every week, and we're and all of that, because it has been, there's been a lot of lather, rinse, repeat with that show, tons of it. Like this week, I felt like it wasn't a really good Raw, but it felt different because there was like a good bit of new matches and things that felt different. Like, but that, I feel like that can also be short-lived too, because we'll just keep doing Priest and Sheamus and all of that, so like you fall into that trap. But
it was just the beginning of the next cycle,
right? Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Like when you do laundry, but you like forget to get it out, so you have to just put it on a rinse cycle. Like, that's where we're at. We're starting the rinse cycle routine.
I just pulled up NXT Arrival real quick. of the entire card, there are only 3 wrestlers still contracted to the WWE.
Whoa.
Opening match was Cesaro, Sami Zayn, in that banger of a match. That was like the first network match. That was a really good match. Mojo Rawley, CJ Parker. The Ascension versus Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay, and Scotty Too Hottie. Totally forgot that match happened.
Wow. I didn't even, I didn't remember that was on there.
Paige beat Emma. Tyler Breeze beat Xavier Woods. Or, I'm sorry, that ended in a no contest. So Xavier Woods is your third.
Wow.
Adrian Neville, Bo Dallas was your main event. So I feel like you have to go before that because that card doesn't stand the test of time. That this happened, 5 years ago? Okay, 7 years ago.
But I think even then, I think they at least had some idea or thought that some of those guys on that card were going to become top guys. Now, again, all of this you have to see it through.
Sure.
But looking at like the depth problems that the WWE has on Raw and SmackDown in terms of like legit WWE superstars, like guys that, make sense as a Intercontinental Champion or US Champion or WWE Champion or Universal Champion. Unfortunately the women's division is a bit of a mess too, because you just keep going back to Charlotte and you go, now you're back at Becky and you have just fumbled the tag team thing. If NXT, if they can adjust NXT and change it up and actually go back to signing guys to development into WWE superstars, as opposed to, I don't want Impact to have this guy, I don't want Ring of Honor to have this guy. That's where the brand went wrong. Now it brought us a tremendous run of takeovers, and it brought it brought some great superstars to the WWE, but we somewhere they lost the point.
Man, there's got to come a time though when you look at what Bear Bryant said and realize that defense wins championships, and allowing some of these guys to go to these other places ultimately hurts your brand. Here's the deal. If the WWE could have locked up CM Punk, this podcast sounds very different. If WWE gets that pop and that guy, like, I feel like Punk and AEW is like the first real blow that AEW landed. Sting was Sting, whatever. I think this was the blow that actually connected for the first time.
It was a blow in the sense that it wasn't a blow in the sense that like WWE, I think, ever had a chance of getting him back. I don't think CM Punk ever comes back to wrestle for WWE. I don't. But like, to your point, if WWE can get that moment, because I think the minute AEW came onto the scene, CM Punk arriving in AEW, everybody thought was destined to happen. Yeah. So like, if they lose that is a body blow to AEW's structure. I'm not saying it would have killed them, but that's a body shot to AEW. That's a hard one to take.
Okay.
Because that was a marriage that I think was always destined to happen. I think a guy like Bray is in a way like, or a Daniel Bryan. I think a Daniel Bryan could be a bigger shot to the WWE than CM Punk was.
Wow. Okay.
Because CM Punk was, like I said, never going to be the WWE. Daniel Bryan, we've talked on this show numerous times, and we talked about it. And Tim, I think you had noticed it when Daniel Bryan switched his gear color from maroon to blue. He went from wrestler to sports entertainer. It felt, because not only did you have Daniel Bryan, but you had Brie Bella and Nikki Bella, like, and at that point it was still John Cena. So like you had like this foursome of people that are WWE lifers, and then Nikki and John split up, but you still had the Bella twins and Daniel Bryan, and they're always going to be under the WWE umbrella. And now all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan, by all accounts, is AEW bound. The Yes Movement, the biggest thing in the WWE in the past decade.
Since CM Punk.
Yeah. So in the network era, let's put it that way. In the network era, the biggest thing is now gone. And they're going to the other, and he's going to the other side. And potential there, especially we heard Nikki's comments about the women's division this past weekend. There's potential, I guess, that the Bella twins could be not WWE bound if they want to do stuff in wrestling. So that's a bigger shot to me. There it is. Punk huge, absolutely, but like those are the shots that are going to hurt WWE more.
Also, since it's fair, we talked age of some WWE guys. Punk 42, Daniel Bryan 40. So.
Oh, absolutely.
I think what you want with the tread on
Jericho 76. I think is.
I want to know his age, not his drink count.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
47. I'm gonna guess.
I think
50,
52. I'm gonna say 51 for Jericho. Charlie says, I think they go back to pre-arrival days. They had an early Bray, Big E, Shield, Charlotte. Yeah.
Jericho is 50.
Okay.
51 in November.
Okay, so he's almost there.
He's the wrong side of 30.
He's on the wrong side of a lot of things, but a bottle as well. Charlie says they lost themselves in not making a true third brand with NXT. If it was a true third brand, they would have AJ, KO, Keith Lee, Priest. Yeah, the
WWE doesn't have to fight with themselves anymore and make it brands because they have AEW to fight with now.
I forget who tweeted it, but once AEW came on the scene, the NXT being that third brand died.
It absolutely,
because NXT was the wrestling alternative, and even though yes, AEW is still very sports entertainment-y. That's AEW took that thunder away from NXT. So that's where you go back to your roots with NXT.
I just want an AEW game.
The show needs stars. Once they do, they're gone, like AAA baseball or college football or minor league hockey. Exactly. You have guys that are going to be NXT lifers, and that's okay. But a lot of your talent is they're going to be there for a short time, and they're going to make their way up top. Raw and SmackDown need to have depth and need to use the depth. That's another big problem with up top.
Is it 6 months that Dynamite competes with Raw? Within 6 months? And again, I'm talking ratings. Ratings don't matter. Yada yada yada. Make that argument. It's a way to measure what people are watching.
In terms of Raw, in terms of no pun intended, Raw numbers, yeah, I think so. I mean, Dynamite last week was under 1 million. This week it was 1.12. Rampage did what, 1.2 million last week,
and they had a real big slot. They had a real big, on a Friday night at 10.
Friday at 10. And it was a huge.
There was a reason to turn in.
Right, you're not doing that every week. You're just not. The first one did what, 800,000. This one did 1.2. I'll be curious.
800,000 is a solid number at 10 on a Friday.
See what it does tomorrow, because it's the first one with spoilers, and there's no Brittberg, there's no CM Punk.
Is it taped?
Yes. So I think like every other or every third Rampage is taped. Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that.
I agree, Charlie. You don't get the Yes Movement without Punk leaving. Absolutely.
Is it with the perhaps movement?
with Punk, Dynamite, and Rampage didn't do much more than their audience. Right, but this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the new AEW. And I know that sounds kind of silly because they've only been around for a couple of years. But like this I said when CM Punk came out on Rampage last week, it was a seismic moment. Like you can point to moments when the tide shifted to WCW during the wars. You can look at the moment when that'll put asses in the seats and the momentum shifted back. This is a moment, and I'm not saying this is the moment that the AEW is overtaking the WWE. I'm saying this is a seismic moment. This is a shift. This is something that whenever all of this ends up being, this is a moment that more people said, you're gonna get more people watching AEW because there are people who love CM Punk. From Summer of Punk and Voice of the Voiceless and all of that, people love CM Punk. There are going to be people that are going to watch AEW because of CM Punk, period, that haven't watched it up to this point.
We've talked different ways, again, to measure what people are watching. And again, we're looking at that Raw tune-in number from TNT. The CM Punk return YouTube video has 7.5 million views. You can go back a couple of weeks. We're looking at 2 weeks ago where Pittsburgh welcomed home Britt Baker, 161,000. This was seismic, Jim. You were absolutely right. This return, Jericho losing to Labor 4, 380,000 views on YouTube. There's 7.5.
There's 3 videos in that Punk series from Rampage. There's the media scrum. There's the CM Punk has arrived. There's CM Punk speaks for the first time. The media scrum, 1.2 million. A 50, and basically an hour-long media scrum, 1.2 million views. CM Punk arrived in AEW. That's a clip we played earlier with the music, all of that, 7.5. CM Punk speaks, 5.2. That's almost 15 million people have watched 3 videos. Now I get it's crossover stuff. That's almost 15 million.
But that's also really smart.
That's almost 15 million video hits in less than 7 days. That's an average of over 2 million a day. That's big. There's no yes, Charlie, there's obviously people who are watching and rewatching. But when we talked about Bob Lashley and Lana's YouTube numbers on the wedding segment on Monday Night Raw, there was people watching. Hey, look at this. Watch this. Come here. Watch this. Guys at work, watch this.
Right. Bray Wyatt being lit on fire. Right. Those are things that you want to. Hey, dude, remember CM Punk? Yeah, he's back.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Hey, look, check this out.
The Fiend's debut at SummerSlam. There's a lot of rewatches there. So yes, not all 15 million of those video views are 15 million different people, but it's still 50. Like when WWE posts their statistics about how they had more social media interaction than the NFL, MLB, NBA and NHL combined.
Yep.
That's not every single one of those hits to different people. That's people like us that sent out 113 tweets during Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Every time I hashtag WWE Raw, that's a social media hit. So it's not, that's the thing because that's when we've talked about traditional ratings not mattering, that those are the things we've meant.
Right.
Is those metrics mean a different thing in the social media YouTube world?
I mean, there's a level somewhere where AEW makes a few pennies every time that video's watched.
Oh, absolutely.
And rewatched and They don't care where it's coming from.
Hell no.
I get what Charlie's saying.
If you get $1,000 in your bank account tomorrow, and it's clean money, it's not a worry about this ended up to me by nefarious means. Do you really care where that $1,000 came from, or are you just happy you have the $1,000?
I'll take the money.
Right, exactly. Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Is that sweet Biden money hitting tomorrow? Is that what we're talking?
No.
Intern Mark would know about that, I think, right?
He would. He's usually on top of those things, but he's flaming his dick, or something like that. But that's the thing is this is a Seisman thing, but like to the original point, like I just hope that this change to NXT it begins to like I hope there's a shift, and I hope all of this that has happened with the other side, with AEW, because we've said it. Tim said it. I've agreed. I think we've all agreed. Like the WWE and Vince McMahon play their best when they're playing from behind or on their heels. And the CM Punk, if Daniel Bryan, if Bray Wyatt, if Adam Cole, like if Adam Cole shows up on Rampage tomorrow, because as by all accounts, August 27, that's been the hot report that August 27, he is a free agent, not a 90-day clause, not a 30-day clause. He is a free agent. He could show up on. Oh no, he can't show up on Rampage. It's taped. My bad.
They could do a tape segment.
I guess they. Yeah, I guess you're that you could. But yeah. So let's just pretend if he shows up on Rampage tomorrow night, live via satellite or whatever. People are going to react and go, how could WWE let him go? And this is a huge sign that WWE isn't the be all end all. And maybe all of that's correct. But maybe that's also a good thing. Because WWE wasn't a be all end all when WCW was on the up.
Yep.
And ECW was making noise. There was options for people. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for wrestlers. That's a good thing for announcers, for referees, for fans. But I said I tweeted it last week that the CM Punk moment when that segment ended, when he was done and everybody he told everybody they're getting ice cream bars. I said this was the shot that wrestling needed. This was also the shot I think that WWE needed. Because if anything, this is a wake-up call. This is something that they can go, all right, now we're playing a game. Yep. Now we're playing ball. Because there's something happening. It to me, it could be the best thing for that company.
Because it's all about the game and how you play it.
Get it.
That game, of course, being War Games.
We got it!
War Games! War Games! War Games! War Games!
I have nothing else to contribute to the show.
Tim, you got anything else to contribute?
0.
All right, let's close this thing up then. Does anybody know who the Woman of the Week is this week? Ryan, start plugging. I'll plug something.
I have nothing else to contribute to the show this week.
What's your Twitter? Just tell me your Twitter.
You can. It's RYN Eagle. RYNEHEL. Is that what it is?
Yes.
RYNEHELE.
Like the bird, like the bird,
and my name without the letter A in it. I tweet about all sorts of great things.
You do.
Did I kill enough time?
Perfect. I got it. Our Woman of the Week this week is the Dagger from Wow Women of Wrestling. So I'll make sure you go to 3countthursday.com on Instagram. At 3Count Thursday on Instagram and give her a follow as well. Tim,
I do have something else.
Oh, see,
I want to be tagged. I'm so sorry. I want to be tagged in every Milk Crate video available. I love watching them. I can't get enough. I want to watch every Milk Crate challenge video out there. Please send them my way.
Stupid idiot.
Tim, what do you got?
At Not the Tool Man across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter. Everything, anything that's hockey related that I'm on, Final Wrestling Place, Viewer's Choice here. Catch us this week on Final Wrestling Place as we talk to the Jingle Meister himself, DeWicki, starting up his own podcast called Hit My Music, which is a interview podcast where he talks to wrestlers about their choices and entrance themes.
Oh man, I love that.
It's going to be sick. Can't wait to talk to him about it and chop it up this weekend. But other than that, man, be good, be safe. Tell somebody you love them. I mean it. And Big Jim, up to you.
Chat me, boy.
You can follow. Sorry, I had a beer bubble in my throat. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports. But make sure you are following the show. We are at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and interacting. This was a really fun show. Make sure you're following again 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, patreon.com/3 Count Thursday, whatamaneuver.net. You can find the 3 Count Thursday merchandise. You can our Collar and Elbow brand deal, store.collarandelbowbrand.com. Use promo code 3 Count, 10% off each and every order. Our home network, of course, NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. And then our secondary home is the Leap Sports and Music Network, LEEIB Sports.com. Until next week, everyone, please stay safe, stay smart, wear your mask. Please get the shot if you haven't already. For the love of God, let's get through this damn thing and just be done with it. But please stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin.